Hello, my loves. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to another video after a brief 4-month hiatus or so. I wanted to come on here and just kind of update everyone on my life, my plans, because I have basically disappeared. And for those of you that don't follow me on my travel channel, you might have been wondering what I've been up to. So if you're new to my channel, by the way, my name is Stef. I help people develop spiritually, work through their traumas, shadows, to cultivate greater self-awareness and empowerment. And I did videos back in July and August about where I was in my life, because around June I had a little bit of a millennial life crisis, and I just felt really lost in life, not knowing what I should do, what I should put my time and energy into. There were certain projects that I wanted to move forward with that I had challenges with being able to bring to fruition, and things just weren't advancing the way that I wanted them to, and I just was kind of feeling really lost, because at the time I was 34 and a half. I'm going to turn 35 in a couple of months. And I just kind of felt like, you know what, I'm 34 and a half and I have no boyfriend, no children. Certain business things have not resulted the way that I wanted or expected, no matter how much of my time and energy and effort I've put into them. And I just felt really low and frustrated, wondering, like, is this going to be how the rest of my life is going to be? Am I never going to amount to anything? And this was a lot of the negative dialogue that I kind of had come up for me yet again in my mind during that time. I've definitely had those kinds of life crises from a very young age, actually, because I'm so driven and have high expectations of myself. And anytime I felt like I wasn't moving along my personal ideal timeline, I would really just dig myself into a hole and just feel like my life was over and I was stuck and I was a loser or whatever else, all these different things. And I don't know if anyone else can relate to this. I'm sure we all, or most people, go through this kind of experience at one point or another. And some of us, like myself, we go through this experience multiple times in life, like more than just a handful. We probably use 2 hands to count, the number of times that we have felt this way in our lives at some point, and so I was just, because of where I was in that moment, I felt inspired to create a video on that. So I'll link it up here if you want to check out that previous video. And then someone reached out to me and asked me for some advice and stuff. So then I felt called to support, because that's just been my natural nature from a very young age. I have always just been the go-to person for advice, for, practical steps on what to do next. And that's my element. That's what I do best, is just helping people with knowing what the best thing to do is in a situation, how to best handle it, and to see things differently, to help them reclaim their power, etc. And so I made a video on that. And then somewhere along the way, I also recorded another video, but I just never got around to posting it. I forgot what it was about. I think it was like a brief update, and I didn't feel like posting it, just because I felt like in the end that video felt forced. Like I wanted to be productive and, not just make this video giving this person advice, but also this other video just updating people on certain things, just so I feel like better and like I'm putting stuff out there. And I don't know, I didn't like it in the end, because it didn't feel authentic to me. I felt like I really pushed through that day to get more stuff done and to get that video done for a later time, and so that's why I held back from posting that. And even today, I low-key am pushing through to do this video as well, but I feel like today I'm using my personal will from an aligned place as opposed to like a misaligned place. And I wanted to come on here, like I said, to update everyone on my life and what I've been up to since those videos. A lot has changed. If you don't follow me on my Instagram, account, then you probably have no idea what I've been up to, what I'm doing. Because I also kind of got off of TikTok as well. I've just been so busy with my own personal stuff. So, if you do follow me on Instagram, then chances are you have an idea of what I'm up to or what I have to say today a little bit. Because I do kind of share here and there my life in my Instagram stories. So, if you'd like to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok as Evolving with Stef. I changed the name to my channel too, to Evolving with Stef, because that felt more aligned for me. Sometime at the start of this year when I let go of my old Instagram account. My old Instagram account was Stef Coaching. And, through all the self-exploration stuff, I just felt like the spiritual coaching work for me wasn't aligned at that time. And I let that go. And especially my old account, it just didn't feel aligned anymore. It felt really very much connected to like old energies, old things that I had been taught, that I had practiced for years. Things that I felt like I needed to be or needed to do, needed to talk about, and I just didn't vibe with that anymore. So I had to let go of that old account and just start a new account. And I decided the best name for my new account was Evolving with Stef, because I'm constantly evolving. I'm constantly stepping into new versions of myself, new things, and I don't know what life, holds. Life is going to surprise me with what it brings to my life and what I step into again and again. And I just felt like that was the most authentic and aligned name for me, and the impact and legacy I want to leave in the world is really helping people understand that we go through cycles. We redefine ourselves, we reinvent ourselves again and again throughout life, especially some people more than others, and I'm definitely one of those people. And now that I know a little bit more about astrology and human design, it makes sense for why I'm constantly being transformed. I have a Scorpio moon, and my Pluto's in Scorpio. I'm not from that generation. So I constantly have this energy of rebirthing, tearing down the old, starting anew, tearing down the old, starting anew. And that's been really frustrating for me for so many years until I had a greater understanding of my astrology and numerology, or not numerology, human design. Well, numerology, I've seen some things on TikTok that kind of explain my vibe too, but just kind of helped me to understand that there's nothing wrong with me trying out things, maybe not having it work out the way that I want, and then discarding it and trying something else, and then, doing this because that's the natural energy that I hold. And I just felt like the best thing that I can do for this world and for other people is just be my authentic self, and to demonstrate to people that it's okay if you constantly feel like, you build a foundation for something, or you work towards something, and maybe it works out for a while, or maybe it doesn't at all, but then you tear it down and you start over again, and you don't have to feel bad about that. You don't have to feel like you're not progressing, or you're a loser, or you're not gonna have anything to show for your efforts, or all of this other stuff, because I feel like a lot of us judge ourselves and criticize ourselves, especially depending on how we were raised and the things that we were programmed to believe about ourselves, about how our lives are supposed to be, and all this other stuff. And I just want to share with people that life can be messy, and it's all a great experiment, and we got to extend ourselves grace and the freedom to just explore and go out there and try different things, and fail sometimes, fall flat on our faces, throw things away, tear things down, and start over anew, or step into things that we would have never expected out of our comfort zones, or whatever it is. Just, I just really want to let my life serve as an example for other people, to give themselves permission to honor who they are and what they're going through, what directions they want to move in, maybe to serve as some kind of validation that it's okay for them to be a little messy or chaotic or whatever it is, I think that's in part what I've come here in life to model for other people. I'm still not exactly sure on my purpose either, but at least this much I do have clear, that I want to help people in this way. And I'm always crying on these videos. I don't know why. I wasn't expecting to, but that's where I was in June, July. And if you watch my previous video, you know that I decided to just focus on doing travel content for an old YouTube channel of mine that I really wanted to take back up and follow through with for my own sense of personal accomplishment, because I just felt like I had really let myself down with letting that channel fall by the wayside, and that just didn't feel right to me. And so I started working on that and giving that my all, and for a moment focusing on that, and instead of trying to figure out what is it that I'm supposed to do with my life next, how do I secure my financial well-being down the line, instead of focusing on those things, I just focused on what was right in front of me and just doing what brought me joy, and just trying to discover my creativity again, my well-being. And I'm really grateful that I am very privileged and I have a family that does support me and is allowing me to figure myself out. Not everyone is lucky to do that, and I recognize my privilege and my circumstances, and I'm so grateful for my family. Despite all of our differences, my family is crazy and dysfunctional, but overall, I'm really grateful for how they support me on my journey of trying to move forward with my purpose, with my calling, and with being who I came here to be. And so I focused on that, and I just started plugging away at that, and that helped me to have less anxiety, less worry, less stress, and to put my time and energy, occupy my days doing these videos. And that felt good for a while. It felt like I had a sense of purpose. It felt like I wasn't so up in the air, ungrounded anymore. Like I had something that I could kind of see, at least for the near future, ahead of me, that I was working towards. And that felt really good. And along the way, on and off this year, I've felt this pull, a calling to date. And I would sometimes kind of download an app, get on there for a little bit, get frustrated, and be like, fuck this, and go about my life. And around June, July-ish or something, I once again got back on there. I think probably early July, even though I wasn't looking for this stuff necessarily. It was like a calling, but it's not like I was really seeking love, if that makes any sense, because I was just busy trying to focus on me and just figure myself out. I had just gone through my little millennial crisis, and I felt like I wasn't really in the space for love, but I kept feeling this pull to get on these stupid apps anyway. No offense to anyone who's found their love on the apps. And then, I didn't have any luck with this new app that I found out about through a friend. And so I'm just going through this process. This was probably July. And I was like, you know what? Forget this. I don't even want to date anymore. I don't even want to have someone occupy my time like that, because I just want to focus on my videos. I want to focus on what makes me happy. I want to have all my time and energy go into making these videos at the very least till the end of the year, and just be consistent with it until then. And then I'll reevaluate my life and see where I go from there. And so that was my plan, was just, I kind of really just grew detached from all the love stuff, because I really didn't give a shit anymore. I was just focused on me and being happy with me, and trying to really find my joy, trying to really find my sense of purpose. And so I just kind of forgot about that. And then this guy showed up in my life, and we connected unexpectedly. They found me through social media. So low-key, subconsciously, I guess I knew we were supposed to be connected through technology, but instead of a dating app, it happened to be social media. We connected. And normally I don't connect with people online like that. But I don't know, I gave this person a chance. I was just like, yeah, whatever. And we ended up meeting up. We hit it off, and we dated each other. Not dated. We hung out together for friends. As friends, I can't talk right now. Sorry. We hung out together as friends for about a good month or so. And about at the end of that month, they ended up telling me how they really felt about me, how they were interested in me from day one, but they didn't want to say anything because of XYZ reasons. And I really wasn't interested in this person initially because they weren't my type. But they came to me right, as those of you who follow me on Instagram know, I am sharing all the intimate details on Instagram. So if you like the tea, you like the chisme, as we say in Spanish, the gossip, by all means go onto my Instagram and check out my posts. But yeah, we had an amazing first date. And it's just been really intense with this person in the best of ways, not in a love bombing kind of way. And yeah, our relationship, I feel, has developed very quickly in such a short amount of time. We've had lots of hard conversations, important conversations about the future, about compatibility, about a number of different scenarios and things. And we've also had, some conflict here and there that we've had to resolve, and what that's brought up for each of us in terms of our past wounding or traumas or whatever, and learning how to navigate that together. It's brought up a lot of my own shadows, things that I had left to work on through this relationship. I realized things about myself that I wasn't aware of. Like, I was afraid of opening myself up to love again, even though I had done so much work to heal from my past relationship, which was a very toxic one, and I thought I was ready, but in the actual relationship, I realized that I was really afraid at the start to give this person a chance and to basically not have it work out and have it bite me in the ass. There were just a number of different scenarios there with certain expectations and certain things that we just had to learn how to navigate. And on top of that, with this new relationship, this new romance in my life, I was trying to keep up with my travel channel. And I did for a little bit. And then somehow along the way, it stopped. I stopped making my videos because I was busy with other things connected to the relationship that I don't want to share at this time, maybe down the line. And also, I ran out of memory on my phone, and I had a lot of important things on my phone that I wanted to save to an external hard drive. It's a long story. The point is, my phone memory was full, and that's what I record from. And I was like, oh, let me just figure out how to get these things off my phone into this external hard drive, and then delete all the stuff off my phone so I can go back to recording my videos. So anyway, I'm recording from my laptop right now. It's different. And so yeah, that was just kind of like another excuse to just not continue to be consistent with my videos. Shout out to those of you who follow me on my travel channel and decided to follow me on my spiritual channel, and you're here watching this. Let me know in the comments below if you're watching from my travel channel. I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna go and do a update video on the travel channel soon as well, but a live one. And so anyway, so that's occupied my time. And during all of this, I would say maybe like around September-ish, probably, I had lots of people reach out to me here and there about negative entity stuff. And I really believe in certain signs from the universe. I personally don't really pay attention to repeating numbers, me personally, because with my toxic ex, let me tell you, I saw 888 a lot. And back in the day, I used to always give my own biased meaning to certain things. And so I interpreted that as, it's a good thing to be in this person's life or have them be in my life, etc. So ever since then, I'm skeptical of the repeating numbers, because I'm like, that didn't work out well. But now I look at other signs. I've always looked at these other signs. And when certain topics, situations, things just repeat themselves in my life, I really noticed those things. And so I had a lot of people, I would say like 3 or 4 people reach out during the same week or two around this negative entity stuff. And I really felt like that was God asking me to come back to the spiritual stuff and to support people with this stuff. And I was like low-key resistant because I feel like I have given so much of my time, my energy, my resources for years to this spiritual stuff. And I have struggled to really make the impact that I have wanted to make, that I feel my heart I am here to make. And I just had things to work through first to really fulfill this calling that God wants me to fulfill here on earth, because I didn't want to continue to show up on my spiritual channel, on this channel or my TikTok, because I just didn't want to experience any more disappointment, to be honest. I didn't want to experience any more sadness. I didn't want to experience, I don't know, pain anymore from putting so much love and time and energy into something that I felt wasn't loving me right back in the same way. And so I did my best to work on those things, during that time. And I eventually worked on it enough to where I channeled with my spirit guides, because I haven't really been connecting with the spirit realm like that for the last couple of years. It's been on and off because of all of this stuff, just feeling like, what's the point of continuing to do the spiritual work if you're not coming through for me, God, and ways for me to feel supported and sustained with everything that I'm doing, the time and energy that I'm putting into this. And yeah, I channeled with my guides. I got given steps that I needed to take to create certain things to support people with this negative entity stuff. There's a lot of you that have concerns or want support with being clear of these energies. And it was my intention to begin creating the things that I was told to create around this to support people with. But again, my personal relationship stuff was just taking up a lot of my time and energy, and it was really just dysregulating a lot my habits and routines. I love routine because it allows me to get everything I want to get done in the day, and I leave room for the unexpected. I leave room for not always being so rigid with the schedule or the routine, depending on if I'm on my cycle, if something's happening with the energy that's making me feel more tired than normal, or whatever it may be, but overall I like being very disciplined with my things and following through with my commitments to others, to myself. And, when you have that new love, when you have a new relationship, sometimes that just really throws you off because you like to spend time together. In my case, every time I hang out with my boyfriend, we stay up till like really late talking because we both love talking a lot. And we usually end up going to sleep like at 2 a.m. And then that throws the whole day off the next day, and I'm feeling tired. And I'm a woman. I don't have testosterone like all the time like men or whatever, they're just baseline. They're always pretty much good to go almost every single day. I'm a woman. I ebb and flow. It depends on what's going on with my hormones. And it was just really throwing me off and really frustrating me the last month or so, especially because I had the intentions to come back on and do my stuff for my travel stuff and move forward with the spiritual stuff that I had been guided to work on by spirit. And I just was not able to really make the progress that I wanted. And so about a couple weeks ago or whatever, I just really started getting like fed up internally. Like, I have to change. Like, something has to change. I have to get on this. So yeah, I think also with the energy right now, based on what I saw a few days ago in this astrology video, I really feel like right now the energy is really supporting me to get back on my game and exercise my will and get shit done. So I've been back on my workout routine. I'm doing other positive things for myself. And anyway, one of those things is like I want to come back on here and do my spiritual things. I want to make time to at least like commit to posting videos on this channel at least like twice a month, to keep up with that while I do the travel stuff as well once a week. And I'm in the process of getting myself organized with my calendar to make sure I dedicate, sufficient time and energy throughout the week to go around my city and film things that I need to film for my travel stuff, or, be here working on whatever I need to work on for the spiritual stuff, on the negative entity stuff. And so I'm in the process right now of getting myself organized so that I can follow through with these things and begin showing up once again consistently. I know that's going to make me feel better, and I know that I'm going to be doing a lot of good by showing up for other people in this way. So that's where I'm at right now. That is the update with my life. It's been an intense few months in the most positive of ways, but it's also been affecting my ability to show up for my own personal things that are important to me and matter just as much. And I'm now in the process of trying to find that balance. That was always like one of my fears when I first got into online coaching and stuff, was, how a relationship would potentially derail me from my own things, because back in those days especially, it was so easy for me to get lost in a relationship and forget about myself and just kind of be lost in love or whatever. And that's not really the case now. Now I'm a much healthier, balanced person. And I've attracted a healthy relationship. I am pretty confident that this is the person I'm going to end up marrying, which is weird because just a few months ago, I was like, what am I doing with my life? I have no boyfriend, no children, no nothing, no this and that. I'm lost and blah, blah, blah. All these different things. And just a few months later, I'm in a completely different space. Life can really change very quickly, very unexpectedly, for both positive and negative ways. And I'm really grateful to just be in a really positive place right now, have a much clearer idea of my future, have a really great person in my life, and to be in a place where I feel like I'm much more settled in to my relationship, and now I can kind of rebalance things so that my personal interests and passions and hobbies don't fall by the wayside, aren't abandoned, and I can dedicate, the time necessary to them. And so just as God, I feel, was kind of bringing back to my awareness back in like September or something that I needed to get back online with the spiritual stuff, I feel recently God has been speaking to me again, letting me know like, hey, it's time for you to get back on the horse. It's time for you to put yourself out there and fulfill what you came here to do. And I think I'm working through the last bits of the fear that I have around showing up to do this work again. I don't know why. I'm learning to let that fear go. And I'm learning to just show up and just be regardless of the outcome. regardless of how people receive it, regardless of the end result, and just do what God put me here to do. And you can never run away from your purpose, I feel. You can take a break, you can go explore other things, but you'll eventually come back to what you were always intended to do. And I always knew God would bring me back to this work again. But God let me go and explore other things and work on myself in other ways through other relationships or projects or whatever to get me ready to come back on here and do this work again. So doing this video today is part of my process of just taking those steps to get back online again, to lose the discomfort I have with being visible sometimes, because it's really funny, like for the first few years of my coaching spiritual business, I was always online, always doing the things, you know. I mean, I had to work towards getting comfortable being on camera, and then once I did that, I was on camera all the time. But ever since, you know, the whole situation that happened from 2020 to, you know, 2022 or whatever, I don't want to say the word because I might get flagged on this platform. But all that self-isolation and stuff during those years really helped me to be more in touch with me and my natural energy. And I just really realized I'm a recluse of sorts. I am really great with people. I'm really friendly, but I'm also really comfortable in my own energy. And I don't always like being around the people because I like being in my own energy. You know, I like having that peace, that rest. Sometimes being around a lot of people, it really works up my energy. And I just really became, I don't know, I really realized I don't like necessarily being in the spotlight, oddly enough. And now that I know about astrology a little bit more, my 12th house, my sun is in the 12th house. And the 12th house is all about like the subconscious and what's hidden. And my sun is there, my natural light, my natural energy, my personality. And so I like to hide my light. I like to hide my shine. I think that's been what I've been working through these last couple of years, especially, is like hiding. And God is telling me, stop hiding. It's your time to go out there and shine and take up space and not be afraid of that, and to know that you're prepared or you're enough and you can help people. And, you know, that's what I'm working through right now. So doing this video, posting it is part of me taking those steps to gradually getting back out there, shining my light again, sharing my knowledge, my wisdom, my expertise, my gifts with other people. And that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. So I would appreciate any positive vibes you can send my way, any love. If you enjoyed listening to this update from me, I'd appreciate a thumbs up on my video, drop a comment if you like to, and just let me know what's going on with you, update me on you and what you have going on. Maybe you can relate a little bit to what I have been going through. We're all on our own journeys. But, you know, this is me where I'm at right now. I always keep it real. I always share who I am. The good, the bad, the ugly. And, yeah, I'm really grateful to be as authentic and transparent as I am. Because I feel like that's very healing for other people. And I don't know how to be any other way than how I am, you know? So, yeah, all of this to say that my intention is to show up at least twice a month and have something to share with you guys. I'd really appreciate it if you could drop your questions or comments, like I said, somewhere during this video. I'm really great with giving people advice. So if you got some advice you want, post it down below, or you could always DM me on Instagram and then I can maybe record a video on it. That's what I'm good at. That's what God created me to do. But I don't know what advice to give if nobody asks me for advice. So, yeah. And yeah, in addition to the 2 monthly videos, I am going to be working behind the scenes on this stuff with the negative entities, I believe, that God wants me to create and put out there to help people with. I gotta double check because it's been a couple months since I tuned in with Spirit to ask about this. Maybe they want me to create something else instead. But if not, then I'm gonna be working on what they told me and eventually put it out there and announce it and just, share it with you guys for those of you that are interested and looking for support with whatever it is that I create special things around. So that's basically it. Thank you so much for your time, for holding space for me, for being here, for supporting me. Strangely enough, my account has been growing even though I haven't posted in months, and I also took that as a sign that God wanted me to really be on here. And I'm like, okay, God, I'm coming. I'm slowly making my way to getting back on the internet and doing this work. So I'm here, and I just really appreciate you sharing this space with me and supporting me. And yeah, I just really love and appreciate you guys. So I will see you in the next video soon. Hopefully 2 weeks from now. Oh yeah, it's like the end of November, so mid-December-ish. I should be here with another video at some random time. Anyway, guys, take care. Bye-bye.